Greetings everyone and welcome to Spiritual Exercises this week. Today I'd like to introduce you to a Japanese theologian, Kozuke Koyama. He wrote a wonderful book called Water Buffalo Theology, in which he said we need to develop culturally relevant metaphors in which to expand and explain the gospel. He said, what is the point of talking about Jesus as the Good Shepherd and we as sheep of the pasture if you were in Asia and most of the time looking out of your window and all you saw was water buffalo? So he practiced this radical form of hospitality. He would embed himself in a local Asian community. He would learn the idiom and metaphor, and together through the conversation would develop a gospel of grace. And he said that his understanding of God's forgiveness and salvation increased just as much as he hoped the communities did as well. He developed this lovely phrase, Christ is the hospitality of God towards us. Christ is the hospitality of God towards us. He invites all of us from all languages and cultures to his great banquet, the feast which none of us can repay. Christ is God's hospitality towards us. I understand as a two-way process in which God gives himself fully away to us in the person of Jesus and accepts and receives us just as we are, all for the Holy Spirit's transformation. Now, I mention all of this to you today as in normal times, not COVID times. This would be the time in the church calendar of ordination. So this weekend and next weekend would be the time when those who have been called and tested and trained would then be going to the cathedral or their local church to be anointed for the task of minister or deacon. And the lectionary, therefore, gives us a series of readings on radical hospitality. So today's can be found in Matthew's Gospel, and we go to chapter 10, right at the end of the Gospel, and it's a very short reading, it's verse 40. Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. So this leads me to spiritual exercises for today. I want you to look at this little house. My daughter's been doing some clay work, and if you lift the lid, underneath you find a round table. Looks a bit like a mushroom, but it's a round table. And it got me to reflect on spiritual exercises for this week. I'd like you to take a moment to be quiet, to then take some deep breaths, to feel a sense of peace, and then to envision our church's welcome and hospitality as a round table where all have a place and all have a voice. As you sit there, what surprises you? Who is there that you don't usually see? What do you hear? What do you learn? What brings you joy? What irritates you? And finally, and importantly, how is the community enhanced? I'd like you to take time to reflect on that, write anything that comes to mind in your journal, and then to finish with this prayer. St. Benedict said, "Let everyone who comes be received as Christ." The invitation is to see everyone who arrives at your door, both literally and metaphorically, as bearing the face of the divine. Even the person who annoys and irritates, or the person who makes you feel uncomfortable. Welcome them in especially, says St. Benedict, because they will reveal God in ways that you do not expect. Amen, and may God bless you richly.